craziness, Yehuda.
Nah, it's all good.
Yeah, man. I don't know what happened here at the last minute. Okay, so I'm waiting for us to for someone to give me confirmation that we're rolling through live to the people, and then I will drop the opening. So someone out there, let me know. I don't see anything. My thing's telling me 0 right now. So if you guys can see us, okay. Armament and Access says we're live. All right, let me drop the opening on everyone, and
Welcome
kaboom!
back to the Hank
Okay, I
Strange
believe we're
situation.
live. I hope we're live. I'm
Lifestyles
praying.
of the locked
Make
and
sure you
loaded.
guys subscribe, thumbs up, ring the bell so you can be notified. We are live. I hope you got your big girl panties on. This is episode 496 of the Who Moved My Freedom podcast. I'm coming to you live from Gainesville. We've got BabyFace P also in Gainesville, and we have the Pew Pew Jew. He's in the middle. Where are you coming from? Texas? You in Texas?
Dallas, yeah.
Dallas. There you go. We got. Should we call you Yehuda? What do you like to be? I don't know.
That's my name.
Okay. PPJ Yehuda. Which I don't know. No one calls you PPJ. I'm sure.
No.
No. All right. So we've got Yehuda, the Pew Pew Jew. He's gonna be joining us here. And of course we've got Babyface P. We've got all you guys. Make sure everyone smashes the thumbs ups, ring the bell, etc. The show's brought to you tonight by Franklin Armory. Shout out to them, makers of binary triggers and other very cool firearms. Also, you guys should make sure that you check out my interview with Jay Jacobson, the owner of Franklin Armory. That's up on the regular YouTube channel. All right, shout out to everyone. Thanks for the patience. I know we're coming in here a little bit late. I had to turn something on in Skype that freaked me out for a minute. And then I went to my IT guy, Babyface P, and he was like,
"You're not your IT guy.
You
yes, you pay me enough money to be your IT guy.
I will double your salary."
Yeah,
right now.
A bunch of zeros.
From 0 to 0.
Yeah,
we'll go up right now. Okay. And let's see. Flying Rich gave us a couple of bucks right here at the beginning. He says, "Where can I get that T-shirt?" I'm assuming he's talking to you, Yehuda. Where can people get this T-shirt from?
Yes, gun control is not kosher. You can do
I like that.
It's so awesome.
Thank you. ThePewPewJew.com.
Nice.
All right, awesome. There you go. I will try to. I'll try to find. What's that? What's up, Patrick?
Was it Richard Hughes you said that asked about it?
Yes.
Yeah, Richard's wife is Jewish, and she's super conservative and gun loving, so it's like perfect for her.
Yeah.
She'll like my website then.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we will. Let me see. I'll try to pull that up sometime here so you guys can see. So please go over to it's thepewpewjew.com, right?
Yep.
Awesome.
Okay.
You guys go over there, sign up, and or support him, follow him. I don't know. We'll get into his social media and all that other kind of stuff. I think we just recently met, but I've heard about you for a little while.
Yeah, we've been kind of social media friends for a while, and I know there was a big mix-up. I guess maybe not a mix-up, but I was supposed to try to get on the show like a year ago, but just nothing ever worked out. But then we just met at KD
Shot Show.
Argo J's big thing.
Yeah.
And that was where we officially met for the first time.
Right, absolutely. Mix-up, probably. You know what? I'm so perfect. I don't know how they could possibly
Yeah.
have been. I don't know how that could have possibly been a mix-up. No, actually, yes. For a while, people have been telling us that we need to get together, get you on the show. So I'm glad you're here. Welcome to the show. And by the way, this is my friend, Babyface P.
Nice to meet you.
A.K.A. Patrick. So why don't you give everyone the rundown? Tell the folks out there if they don't know who you are, how you got into the whole gun community.
So about must have been, who knows, however many years ago. I grew up in Los Angeles, got married. Don't hold it against me. I grew up in Los Angeles, lived there for 30 years, but I bought my first gun when I was in LA. I was married, 2 kids out of the house. And when my parents found out that I owned a gun, they didn't know about my AR or my shotgun. They just found out about my Glock.
Okay.
If you've ever seen Chernobyl, And that Chernobyl had nothing on my parents. I mean, we're talking about,
Their meltdown was epic.
oh, epic. And I'm an Orthodox Jew, so like then you get all of that,
Oh my gosh.
Jewish guilt
Yeah.
piles up, and I'm thinking to myself, like, here I am, 25 years old, maybe 26, I don't even remember, married, 2 kids, out of the home. My parents thought I was mature enough to get married, mature enough to send me to Israel for 2 years for study, and mature enough to have kids, but I'm not responsible or mature enough to have a tool in my home.
Right.
So, whenever you're brand new into this industry, the first place everyone goes to is NRA. I found the Eddie Eagle program, which is absolutely fantastic. The one issue that I have with Eddie Eagle is it's basic, right? It talks about what to do if you find a gun somewhere it's not supposed to be, and that's it.
Yep.
As all gun owners know, there's a lot more to gun safety
than that, for sure.
Right.
Yeah.
So that kind of led me to Amazon to purchase a book that I would be able to sit down with my children and read to them about gun safety, and was shocked out of my mind that there was no books on the market specifically designed for children. Zero. Yeah, not necessarily for parents to read, to educate them on how to talk to children, but specifically for children. And I've always been a very big fan of creative writing. So I pulled out my iPhone, like 4 or 5, I don't even know what it was. And on the notepad, I literally wrote my first book on my notepad on my iPhone in about 20 minutes. Sent it to a buddy of mine who was in the LAPD, whose birthday is today. Happy birthday, Dave.
Oh.
And he like shredded it apart. Like, just awesome constructive criticism, really educating me on the proper lingo and usage of verbiage, and educating me on in the gun culture, something that I knew nothing about, except for the fact that I owned a couple guns and I like to go shoot them. And then it took me about 5 years to get my first book published.
Was the first book, because hold on, I could throw this up for everyone if they want to see it. Was the first one Safety On?
The first book was Safety On.
Okay.
And 3 months after that, I released Safety On, the coloring book, so that children would be able to really immerse themselves into the lessons by visualizing it themselves. It's the exact same book, identical, except coloring book pages instead of colored pages.
Okay, very cool. And I see you have a couple of other books there, which we'll talk about. Let me take a second to pause, since you mentioned your friend. What'd you say his name was?
Dave.
Dave. Happy birthday, Dave. I'm going to get in really big trouble if I don't do this, Yehuda. So I got to do this right now. And Flying Rich gave us a couple of bucks to say it, so I extra have to do it. Today's also Lola's birthday.
That is correct.
Ooh, happy birthday, Lola.
Yes, happy birthday to Lola. Lola. Lola, yeah, it is her birthday. Happy birthday to her. I gave her a smile for her birthday today. I mean,
God, how more
awesome?
Tell us can you tell us on? Is it like? Can you tell us how you did that, or is that like personal? Does it belong on Pornhub?
No. I mean, what are you talking about? No, basically, it's a video. So when we were in Vegas, Lola and I knew her birthday was coming up, but we probably were going to be busy since we came back here and really couldn't do anything. So what I did was I took this like selfie video with her where I'm doing my usual mean mugging and Lola is smiling, and then at the end I smile. And I threw it up on social media for anyone who wants to see that. So there it goes. That's my birthday present to you, Lola. I hope you enjoy it. I know, I'm too nice. Do you guys give your wives awesome? I'm assuming you're still married, right, Yehuda?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
We're about to hit 12 years.
12 years. Congratulations. Do you guys give your wife an awesome gift like that?
I'm and I probably shouldn't be saying this, being in the gun community, we're all alpha males, right? But
no, we're not.
Yeah, right. An absolutely hopeless romantic.
Oh, awesome.
I will plan out the most extravagantly crazy planned event for my wife.
Same with me.
Yeah, for no other reason. It's something that I take great pride in. And as much as I joke that we're alpha males, I mean, I don't think there's anything more manly than treating your woman right and making sure that she feels loved. So.
100%. First of all, let's, I want to get into the background and everything with you, but while we're on this subject, and we're all dudes here, isn't it the guys who are the most romantic ones? I find women have no romance bone whatsoever.
I think so, yeah. I'm kind of on with that.
Oh, you agree?
Oh, 100%.
Yeah. There you go.
My wife is the most unromantic person I
Yeah.
I thought it was just me.
No. I'll plan the craziest thing for my wife, and then like at the end of the night, it's just like, oh, that was nice.
Yeah. You know what? I don't know what that is, man. I think romance is only... Well, first of all, women always say we're not romantic, which I don't know where that myth comes from. But yes, I do the same thing. I'll like write out poetry, do all kinds of stuff for Lola, and she'd be like, whatever. It was okay. Yeah, that was all right. So, wait, Lola's coming in here. Wait a second.
Yeah, you better watch yourself.
What is it?
Sounds like you need a hug.
No, I don't. I'm fine. Happy birthday. Mwah. There you go. Happy birthday to you. Am I lying? Am I the romantic one?
You are the romantic one out of us two.
Yeah, no romance bone.
I will give you that.
Yeah, if we find a female who is romantic, we're going to clone her.
They're out there.
They're
not as fun as I am.
Okay, well, I'm not going to argue that since it's your birthday. I'm not going to argue about the funness. But yeah, why is that though?
It's true.
Yeah.
I think it's genetics. I think that's how we were raised. Men, you got to court, you got to do the romantic things. It's just how we are.
Yeah. Well, I thought we were supposed to be savage, but I think that romance is a thing that comes from dudes.
Oh yeah.
So, Joseph Anthony says happy birthday again. So there we go. All the birthday stuff out of the way for Lola. Plus, Dave got a birthday shout out.
Hey, can I just give a shout out to Richard Hughes, who went and already bought a shirt?
What?
Nice.
I think that is in my 2 years that the Pew Pew Jew has been around, not even a year and a half, and the countless podcasts and live feeds that I've done. This is the first time where someone actually said, hey, I love that shirt. Where'd you get it? I'm going to get one. And then literally does it.
Oh, that is awesome.
So Richard, if you're still watching, man, I will make sure to, if you hit me up on Instagram at the Pew Pew Jew, I will send you something special.
Oh, nice.
Nothing big, just a little something.
Just a little something. Okay, you know what? I'm not going to say what's going through my brain.
Just trying to be romantic here, right?
Yes, exactly. I know we were just talking about romance. But thank you to Richard Hughes. That was very nice. That's a badass t-shirt. I don't know. Do you have that in patches?
I do.
You do? Is that on the website?
It is on the website. Yes, they're the nice PVC ones, not the cloth ones, like the good.
Oh, Lola, you need to go on the website and get me one of these patches right now. And by the way, listen, I'm going to give my patch to Richard Hughes for buying your shirt.
Nice.
Okay, Richard Hughes. So whenever I see you, I got a Hank Strange patch coming at you for being being awesome and buying that t-shirt. And you know what? I'll tell you what. If anybody else while we're on the air buys a t-shirt from the Pew Pew Jew, you might get a patch. I don't know. There you go.
Thank you.
You know, I feel like the romance is bubbling right now. I don't know where we were. I forgot whatever the hell we were talking about, Patrick. I don't even know. Yeah, Pixamite says, happy birthday, Lola. Under that tough exterior, I could tell Hank's Romeo at heart. Yes, absolutely. I'm just super romantic. I don't know, man, what to do with all my romances. It is bubbling over. Okay, so let's get back to it. So we were talking about you wrote that first book.
Yeah.
Right. Did you self-published, right?
The first two books, my Safety On books, were actually published through a small publishing house.
Oh, okay.
It took me about 5 years to get it published, just because right when I started shopping it around, Sandy Hook happened.
Oh.
And there is no literary agent in the country or publishing company that wants to
Yeah.
touch a book about kids and guns in a positive light. So, I mean, I shelved it for a year, picked it back up, tried selling it, getting it out there. It took me a while. In January of 2016 or February, in April, I apologize. April of 2016, I actually got a literary agent who got me a great deal within like 2 weeks with a relatively well-known publishing house. And then 3 months later in July, for some unknown reason, the publishing company canceled the book deal, and my agent dropped me.
Whoa. This is before Sandy Hook.
No, this is already
after.
4 years after Sandy Hook.
Oh, okay. Okay.
To say I went into a deep dark funk, I mean, major depression is an understatement. I was in a really, really dark place in my life. Here is something I worked for 5 years. I had it within grasp. And it was just ripped away.
Man.
And then in November, to be exact, November 18th. I'm sorry, this was 2015. November 18th, 2015, my son comes home. He was 6 years old at the time, with an assignment, which is this framed photo right here.
Okay, hold on. Let's get a look at it. Okay.
Right here.
This one.
It basically said, when I am 50, and what you want to do when you turn, what you're going to be doing when you're 50. And he wrote, I'm going to be like my dad, and I'm going to write.
Oh.
And right there, and then I took the paper, I turned to my wife, I said, I'll be right back, without any explanation, drove right to Walmart, got a picture frame, framed it, put it up on my wall, and it was at that moment that I realized that my book no longer is about me. It's about not disappointing my child and showing him that I'm not a quitter. And about a lot of hard work, but I got the book published, and a lot of blood, sweat, and tears went into that. And then, that was 2017.
Yeah, nice. Awesome motivational work from your son there.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be here talking to you if it wasn't for my son. I mean, that assignment, like, when your son comes home, how do you disappoint him like that, How do you say, you know what, it was a tough road, but I'm just going to call it a day, and it's not meant to be. But I couldn't do that to him. He looks up to me, and I refuse to be a quitter in his eyes.
Okay, awesome. I'm glad you did that. The thing I was going to ask you about the books, I mean, I think there's probably a reason why there were no books up to this time, right? Because there probably were people trying to do this, but publishers, for lots of different reasons, didn't want to do it. And then, like you said, you kind of like ran into some stuff. I'm sure I'm not just the only one out there that's interested maybe one day in putting out a book. What can you tell us like more in depth about that whole experience?
So in terms of getting a book like this out, I don't know if there was necessarily people trying to do it, just publishing companies wouldn't do it. It seems that no one was doing it. Up until recently, right? And I'm trying to think the best way to explain it. So up until recently, yes, a lot of us educated our children on firearms, but there wasn't the same type of urgency and push that there is now across the country. Yeah, you might have people who grew up in, the South or other places where guns were really used for hunting that were taught from a young age. But, you can go to any city in this country and you will find people my age, 35 and younger, taking their little kids and teaching them shooting, not hunting, shooting. So I don't think there was ever a real need or a real desire to come out with a children's book. There was no market for that. And that's what actually led me to write my book, is that there was nothing on the market. So in terms of if people want to write a book nowadays, I mean, it really is easy. You can self-publish anything you want on Amazon. Amazon has their own publishing company, and I've done 4 books self-published on Amazon, and it's been fantastic. You come up with an idea. If you know, I do know. Like, did you see Rob? I know Pincus's book, right? So Rob just came out with his book, and he's been telling everybody, which is a huge, for me, I don't want to call it an ego boost, but I'm truly humbled. But he keeps telling everyone that I was his inspiration.
Oh, that's cool.
To write his children's book, and he actually wrote his book specifically to complement my safety book.
Oh, cool. I mean, you're the guy pioneering it at this point, if there's no one else that ever did that. So
right. So I know Julie Golub came out with a book, which is a great book, but you know, our books are vastly different. I know one of our buddies who was at that party came out with one.
Yeah.
The EDC guy. I haven't had a chance to see it yet, so I don't want to comment on it. But you know, there are books here and there, but there's no one doing. I mean, I have 5 books on firearms education for children, including a 105 explosive gun jokes.
Yeah, we're gonna. Can we get some of these jokes later, or are these not suitable?
Yeah, we can definitely touch on that. I mean,
okay.
that book was written for a specific reason as well. But yeah, there's no one doing what I'm doing, and you know, I highly recommend, and I would love it if people hear my voice right now and they're like, you know what, self-publishing doesn't seem so hard. We're gonna write a children's book on firearms education. By all means, do it, please. We need more children's literature out there on firearms education. I mean, I have 2 books on gun safety. I have the ABCs of guns, which is literally an ABCs book. I have the joke book, and then I also have a book called 27 Words, which is a breakdown of the Second Amendment for children. And it's something that I'm really passionate about, and I highly urge people, if you're interested in doing it, feel free to reach out to me. I'm more than happy to help anyone become a published author. We need more children's literature on firearms education.
Okay, very cool.
I'm not looking to corner the market or saying, hey, you know, I don't want anyone to do it because then I lose money because someone might buy that book instead of mine. As much as I would love to be that guy, I'm not. I want to make sure that children in America are safe. I want to make sure that they're educated, and I want parents to have as many tools out there in order to educate their children.
Yeah. I think that this is like, this is like the sex education thing, right? A lot of parents, a lot of people are worried that their kids will, go wrong somehow with sex. And so we have that talk. We have the birds and the bees talk. In school, they talk to kids about sex, how to stay safe, how to keep from getting diseases, etc. And then it's almost like, why would you not do that with guns? Why would you not teach your kids about guns?
You can take it even a different route, we have, from a young age, we're teaching our kids, when they're crawling, right? Don't touch the oven. Even though the oven might be on, we all know ovens nowadays have like this heat proof so that you can touch the glass on the oven when it's on. It's not hot, but we still say don't touch the oven. It's hot. At the same time, we don't let kids use knives maybe until they're like 4 years old when they demand to use a knife. And you get those little kitty butter knives that, I would rather be stabbed with a spoon. But, you have these little butter knives, and you teach kids from a young age to how to use it. So that by the time they're 6, 7, 8 years old, you can leave a set of cooking knives on the counter, and your child's not going to go near it because they've been educated.
Yeah. Same thing with the so we live here in Florida, lots of pools. I'm guessing in LA, lots of pools too, right?
Yeah.
I mean, we teach kids about, stay away from the pool, or we teach them how to swim and things like that. We just don't leave it up to fate or chance that our kids will be okay.
Yep. Right. 100%. Hey, Hank, just quickly. I hope you have a lot of patches.
Yeah,
I've seriously get a bunch of orders.
Joseph Anthony just got this shirt, so I thank you, Joseph.
Okay, Joseph gets a patch. Joseph gets a patch.
Yeah, I don't know who. Let's see who else.
Yeah, I thought about that when I said it. I was like, uh-oh.
Scott Jones got a patch.
Oh, okay.
One of my
Congratulations. We'll
patches.
Scott, you got to get in touch with us. We'll get you a patch too if you buy a patch.
Hank Strange bought a patch. Thank you, Hank.
Boom.
And Peggy Keller, if you're still here.
Oh,
What, Peggy?
She bought a shirt and a patch.
What? Okay, Peggy also gets Peggy will get one of these too. We'll take care of Peggy. I think she already has one, but we'll get her another one. Thanks to everyone out there that did buy those. Yeah. I'm sorry, go ahead, Yehuda. What were you going to say?
I was going to say thank you. It's awesome. I appreciate everybody.
Yeah. Ghost Tactical says, Yehuda, my favorite is 27 words.
Trey, yeah. Ghost is a great guy. I've been on his podcast numerous times. 27 Words is a book I'm actually very proud of because we teach our kids to go shooting, but you don't hear a lot of people educating children on why we do that, right? We have the ability to take our kids shooting anytime we want because of the Second Amendment. And if you don't have kids being educated on the importance of the Second Amendment at an early age, then who cares that they know how to shoot? They won't appreciate our freedoms when they're older. So, thank you, Trey, Ghost. I'm very proud of 27 Words.
Yeah. Let's try to get some stuff. And Patrick, by the way, if you see anything going on here, or you want to something we need to pay attention to in the chat, let me know. I did see Sergeant Hulka's Big Toe says, given your 2 years in Israel, can you describe the Israeli gun culture, as compared to America's?
Yeah, Israeli gun culture sucks royally.
really?
People are shocked by that. I just did a big Instagram live about a month ago with a great company called IDF Gear Review. They're based in Israel, and they do all this review coming from a Israeli Defense Force mentality. In short, you are only allowed to own one firearm at a time, and it is only allowed to be a handgun. A civilian is not allowed to own any kind of long gun. And let's say I have a Glock 19, but I decide I want to switch to the SIG. I don't know the exact process, but in essence, I have to go turn in my Glock or sell it, have proof that I sold it, then go to a certain location where I have to fill out a new form to register a new gun. And that's how you do it. So you're only allowed to have one handgun at a time in your possession. You are only allowed to own in your home 50 rounds of ammo at any given time.
This is confusing to me.
This is crazy.
You are allowed to go to, let's say, your gun range and buy $1,000 worth of ammo, but the ammo stays there, and every time you go to the range to use it, you're like, oh, I want $200 worth of credit of ammo, and they hold it there. Common misconception is a lot of people think that, in Israel it's a law that you can't have a round chambered because, the Israeli army doesn't carry a round chambered, and civilians, to the most part, don't carry a round chambered. But that's not true. You are allowed to carry a round chambered. It's just the way Israeli Defense Forces taught is that they do not carry a round chambered until, they need to chamber a round. So you are allowed to carry a round chambered. But, again, you cannot own an AR. You cannot own a shotgun. You are not.
I'm thrown by this because everyone has to do service, right, over in Israel.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
Men, women, everyone has to do it. What's the rules on that?
When you're 18, you have to either join the IDF. There are certain ways to do. I don't want to use the word community service, but I'm trying to think of the word, like a national service. So, like where my wife teaches in Dallas, there's a Jewish day school that has 2 18-year-old girls that come and teach Israel stuff to a lot of the students as they're giving back to the community to Israel, so that way they don't have to actually join the army.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
I hear what they're saying. You know,
Hmm.
if you can go and promote Israel as an ambassador, so to speak, of Israel,
Hmm.
you are serving your country in one way or another. It might not
Okay.
be, you know, you might not be kicking Osama's door down, but you are, you know, you are doing
You're somehow
something
contributing.
right.
Right. But I thought the whole thing of it was, this is where I'm confused, like what you're saying about I mean, and I knew that the gun rules in Israel were a little different from us here in America, right? But I thought the whole purpose of everyone having to serve was everyone understanding why it's important to be able to defend yourself.
Well, it is, but
Okay.
once you're out of the military, so you are in the reserve for a while, right? So a lot of people who are out and like on the reserves, you might see them, you know, having an AR, or in this case, a lot of them have Tavors now, right?
Hmm.
But at the same time, that if you're a civilian, the law is the law. And keep in mind, when you see these pictures of, you know, these Israelis, you know, a lot of these cute Israeli girls who
Yeah.
are wearing like short skirts and, you know,
Yeah.
tank top,
Right. This
like,
was my next question to you. Are the IDF girls a myth, or is this real or
uh,
not? Okay.
no, they're not. No,
Okay.
they're not. But
Hmm.
what you see is very accurate. There are a lot of beautiful Israeli women out there.
Mm.
Um, but that aside, like I'm saying, you know, you'll see a girl wearing a mini skirt and like a tank top carrying an AR-15,
Hmm.
but that AR-15 technically doesn't belong to her. It still belongs to the Israeli
Government.
government.
Yeah.
Oh,
She's a
okay.
reservist. So when you're a reservist, you still get to walk around. I think it's actually mandatory that you have to walk around with one.
Okay.
So
So when you're okay, so as a citizen, can you own a Tavor?
no,
Oh no, this is nonsense.
you are not alone allowed to own any. To my knowledge, if I remember what this guy said, he said you are not allowed to own any type of long gun, and you're only allowed to own one gun at a time.
Mm,
That's wild. That's absolutely wild.
yeah.
I agree with you, and I have a brother-in-law who lives in Israel. He carries the CZP-07, I believe. I think that's what it is. I could be wrong, but either way, um, you know, he carries that, and he's only allowed 50 rounds at a time. And I think the mindset behind that also is kind of like, if you have a threat and you can't take them down within 50 rounds, you really shouldn't be carrying a gun. But
Hmm.
you have to remember, Israel's coming from very different mentality, right? They're coming
Mm,
from immediate threat, terrorism, get them down as fast as possible.
mm,
We're coming from a revolutionary war where the Second Amendment's literally built into the DNA of our nation, right?
mm. Yeah,
It,
but that's why I thought it would be somehow built into the DNA of Israel. You know, for everyone there to always be ready to fight back, not just people who are currently doing service.
well, not necessarily, because Israel was founded in 1948 after a war, not with an oppressive, not with an oppressive regime like Great Britain was, right?
Hmm.
They weren't fighting that. They were fighting against people who just straight up wanted to kill them
Hmm.
and make sure that they don't come into the land.
Hmm.
So it was a very different mentality the way Israel was formed. When I say Israel, I mean I believe Israel's been in, you know, is the Jewish land. It's been there ours for 3,000 years since God gave it to us. But I'm saying, when I talk about like Israel being formed, I'm talking about like the modern day state.
Hmm.
You know, they weren't formed based on throwing off the yoke of an oppressive government.
Hmm.
It wasn't a revolutionary war. It was a war of independence,
Hmm.
um, in Israel against people who wanted to kill them, not
Hmm.
subjugate them to tyrannical government.
Okay.
So coming from two very different mindsets.
Hmm. So Atomic Bulls has this. He says, so no 2A equivalent in Israel.
No, there is no 2A equivalent in Israel. I believe also, like, to get a permit, you can't live in the main city. Like, it's much easier to get one if you live like where the settlements are, and I think you have to be a resident of Israel for a certain amount of time before you can apply. I mean, there definitely is no 2A equivalent, 100%.
Yeah. I don't know why I had this twisted in my head. And by the way, shout out to Trey from Aries. He's out there. Okay, let me ask you: is the Zohan real, or is that also a myth?
Oh man! So let's put it this way: that mentality is 100% real.
Really? Okay.
Oh yeah, I have friends who, I have Israeli friends who talk like that and act like that. But that's Israel. I mean, you know, yeah. Adam Sandler pretty much nailed it with
the Zohan is like, don't mess with the Zohan is one of my people. I know there's people who think Adam Sandler is not funny or whatever, but I think he's funny. That's one of the funniest movies to me. And I grew up in a place in New York called Far Rockaway, which was heavily Jewish.
Oh yeah, I had cousins who lived there for years.
Yeah,
I spent plenty of time in Far Rockaway.
Yeah, and that reminds me of some of my friends I grew up with, which were, so yeah, that's cool. All right, let's see here. We got some things coming in here. Strangely enough, I don't know why, everyone's interested in the IDF girls, so we might have to cover this a little while. Razor JB says, I spent some time there on 2 occasions for work, and I seen these hotties in tube tops and sandals carrying rifles daily. It was crazy.
That is accurate. Yes, that you do see that. You definitely see that.
Yeah. So can we do one of these Perillo tours to Israel or something? You need to put this together, man.
You arrange it. We will hit up Israel. I will take you out on the town. We will hit up places like Caliber 3, which is a fantastic training facility in Israel. Mm-hmm. We can make a real gun-toting trip out of it.
Okay. Are you down for this, Babyface?
I would love to visit Israel. I've always wanted to.
Yeah. So the weird thing about it is there's guns made in Israel, right? Not just for the military. There's things that get like they make guns and they come to America, right?
So I'm trying to think of guns in Israel. Anything that's imported, from my knowledge, is insanely expensive. Like, if let's say you would want a Glock 19, right? What's an average Glock 19 in America? 550. 550. Mm-hmm. In Israel, it's like 1,000. It's like double. It's like double the price.
Okay, but doesn't Israel makes its own guns? I mean, there's guns that are made in Israel, right?
Right.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. But I don't know. I mean, they have IWI, right? But IWI, a lot of the ones we see aren't being imported from Israel. I think they're made in Pennsylvania. Is that where IWI IWI US?
Yeah, that's where they are, and I think now they're starting to make stuff. But I was under the impression that stuff was coming in to IWI from Israel.
Originally, the Tavors were.
Right. Yeah. That's definitely a possibility. Mm-hmm. Shockingly, and everyone, and I'm surprised you didn't ask me this because I can't even begin to tell you how many times I've had this question. I've been asked numerous times, so how many IWI weapons do you have?
I heard someone asking you that at SHOT Show.
And I will tell you the answer is 0.
Oh, shame for shame.
I am an AR-15 guy.
Nice.
Day in, day out, over AKs, over Tavors, you name it. Over the HK G36, the FN Scar. I will take my AR any freaking day. I love my AR. It is the extension of my arm, and I love it. In terms of handguns, I've never shot the Masada yet. You know, their new cheap strike fire.
No,
I haven't shot it, but I put it in my hands, and it felt like crap. So,
really? Oh boy,
it just felt junky. It really felt junky, and I was like, not for me. Mm-hmm. The Jericho was a really nice piece. But if I'm going to be spending, that much money on a new Jericho, I'm going for something else. I'd rather throw in the extra couple $100 and get like a freaking Staccato P or something like that. So
you're an AR guy, which
AR.
Yeah, I like all guns. ARs, best rifles in the world.
Yes.
Babyface is screwing up his face. I don't know what's wrong with him.
I'm just smirking. I didn't say anything.
Yeah. So handgun. What's your gun of choice when it comes to handguns then?
So if the zombie apocalypse hits tonight, I'm going with my Glock 19 Gen 3.
Okay.
That was my first gun, the love of my life, and you know, there's other guns I would really like right now, but I can't afford them. So one day I'll up my game. But right now, that Glock 19 has treated me very well. I'm comfortable with it. I can shoot it. I can hit my targets. So, you know, why change?
How ironic. The Glock, the German-made Glock.
Yes.
I don't know if anyone.
Oh, you think that's crazy? Hold on, let me go grab.
Oh,
let me
wait.
go grab something.
Don't show any guns, Yehuda. We're not allowed.
We don't show guns here.
No, we're not allowed.
YouTube broke us. We're not allowed to.
Yeah.
Are you serious?
Yeah, don't do
They
it.
can't do it on live streams anymore.
Yeah, they're
They announced that
watching
like
us.
a month ago.
Okay,
Yeah.
So I won't
Yeah.
Yeah, they warned us that they're watching us, so I'm just telling you right now.
Yes, it's crazy.
I will not get it then. But,
Okay.
I actually bought a Walther P38
All right.
with the Nazi insignia still stamped on it.
I'm not
Okay.
gonna lie, that's pretty cool. Those things are pretty neat.
And I got a lot of flack from people.
It's just an object.
Yeah, why?
Well,
Yeah, what was the people's reason for giving you flack? Because you're Jewish, you're not supposed to buy a.
Nazi
Exactly.
memorabilia.
Has a swastika and the eagle on it.
Mhm.
And my big thing was I got it for about $400, which is
Pretty good deal.
very good price.
Yeah.
It's in near perfect condition except one little crack on the grip,
Mhm.
but it perfect working order. Amazing piece of history, and I bought it because I was able to sit down with my 10-year-old and, you know, we were looking at it and I was able to go through and explain to him, like, where's Hitler? And my kid's like, oh, Hitler's done. I'm like, where's Nazis? They're like, oh, they're done. I'm like, well, is the gun here? And he's like, yeah. I'm like, are the Jews here? He's like, yeah. And I'm like, this is what will, you know,
Set you free.
yeah, this will make a difference between life and death. And you can put as many Nazi swastikas as on that gun. You can have it painted black, red, and red with a white swastika on the grip. At the end of the day, it's the person using the gun, not the gun.
Mhm.
And, you know, I was able to teach my kid this lesson through this gun. And, yeah, it was pretty awesome.
Yeah, you know, it's a lot like. So I was listening to something, and this guy was talking about what's the flag here in the South again? What's that?
Dixie?
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. Is that the rebel flag or whatever?
Flag.
The rebel
Yeah.
flag with the blues.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. So someone's saying that if you have that flag, you're automatically racist.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah, and I was listening to that, and I was like, listen, this racist things and all kinds of stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that thing on its own doesn't make racist. And I could tell you when it comes, and there's people who collect guns from World War II,
Yeah.
right? And German guns, specifically that have swastikas, etc. They're more valuable, all that kind of stuff. One of the people who I know that has the biggest collection is the Dragon Man. I don't know if you ever heard of him.
I do. His daughter and I are social media acquaintances.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
I know they're Jewish.
Exactly. He's a Jewish guy, and he has massive collection. I got to see his collection when I was in Colorado. I recommend anyone go there and see it. This is a Jewish guy from Brooklyn, and he has these things, and he was telling people, like, because you know there's a part of his museum that has like not only these guns and things like that, but it shows all the terrible things that happened in Germany and concentration camps, things that came out of Auschwitz, etc. Which I think there was, you know, like what was it, just a couple of days ago.
Okay.
Yeah, and he said if you like hide these things away or destroy them, then it never happened.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You know, and this is the weird thing that I don't understand about people, that they think just like sometimes having that thing is, remember it. There's lots of different meanings to having these things, and it doesn't mean that you're happy about this thing that happened, or that you condone it or anything like that. Go
No, I
ahead.
mean, look, when I lived in Israel for those 2 years, it was I was 18, 19, 20.
Hmm.
I was in a Jewish seminary
Hmm.
doing Judaic studies, and I went to Auschwitz. I went to Poland and Prague and Ukraine on like a Holocaust-oriented trip, and here I am sitting in Auschwitz-Birkenau. Uh, I wanted to take a picture of my group with the whole Auschwitz behind them, and I sit down on a busted old bunker, like on a wooden slab, and I'm sitting there, and I see it looks like a cap from like a glass Coca-Cola bottle,
Hmm.
like encrusted in dirt, and I'm sitting there, I'm like, man, what kind of like jerk will drop it in, a place
Hmm.
like this? And I'm kind of in my own world, and for 5 minutes, I'm kind of rubbing, the cap, and then all of a sudden I look down, and I'm staring at a swastika.
Mm.
And I
Someone
found,
was covering it.
well, no, it it was a 50-cent piece
Oh wow.
Oh.
in Germany, but it seemed, because it was encrusted in so much dirt, it looked like a
Hmm.
cap.
Oh.
But I'm staring at the swastika. Suffice it to say, you guys are now talking to an international artifact smuggler. Uh, it's in my safe at home now. But
Hmm.
uh, yeah, it was. You can't hide away from it. You can't make it disappear,
Hmm.
because the minute you make it disappear, all 6 million died for nothing.
Hmm. Yeah. Absolutely. It's this, you know, I think that people are forgetting about that. And especially now that we're dealing with a world where governments want us to be disarmed, you know, we're having that issue here. I think there's people that want to pretend and forget like that never happened. I've got some questions here for you.
Yeah, please.
Let me get into these.
Yeah. And
Uh,
we did get a bunch more orders, by the way.
oh, good.
Jesus.
Yeah. Well,
Good.
absolutely. Well,
Good. Good on you. That's
yeah.
awesome.
We'll shout those guys out here. Let's see, James Miller in a second after we get these. James
Yeah.
Miller says, "Is there any kind of political movement in Israel to loosen gun restrictions?"
Um, Not that I know of. Uh, yeah, not that I know of. I mean, look, I bleed red, white, and blue, right? I mean, I was
Hmm.
born in America. I love this country, and
Amen.
I do not see myself, my wife, or my kids moving to Israel in the foreseeable future. Uh,
Okay.
I love this country, and I'm very happy here.
Hmm.
So I'm not so up to speed on Israeli politics and stuff like that. But I'm sure there is some kind of movement, but they're fighting an uphill battle, just because they don't have a Second Amendment.
Hmm.
So they're looking to change the entire fabric of a nation, versus we're fighting for a certain aspect, of the Second Amendment. So it's a great question. I can look into it, but not that I know of.
Yeah, it sounds like you're saying it's easier to lose it than to get it in the first place.
Yes, pretty much.
Yeah, yeah. People need to remember that.
Yeah.
Okay, Brian Quick says, "What does Yehuda think about some of the Nazis settling in Argentina, and the Mossad hunting them down?"
I mean, awesome. I mean, I'm not gonna say, you know, the Mossad going in and assassinating them, um, is a bad thing. Man, I wish I was back in the '60s and I could have joined them even. But you know, yeah, they had a very elaborate scheme to funnel Nazis out of Germany at the end of the war. Very successful scheme, and they did it. But Israel was a little better, and they went in, and they got oh gosh, Eichmann, and assassinated a bunch of people. So I'm okay with that.
Yeah. There's a lot of forgiveness and stuff like that people throw around nowadays. I personally think there's a good value in vengeance. Not under all circumstances, but there are circumstances in this world to which I believe vengeance is necessary to be applied.
Yeah, I mean, I can't agree more. These were people who had a complete disregard for not just Jewish life, but homosexuals, political dissidents,
Poles and gypsies, and
Poles. I mean, you name it.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yeah.
I mean, even Hank. I mean, you're black. Even blacks they hate it. I mean, Jesse Owens destroyed them in the '33 Olympics, which is fantastic. Screw the superior race. It has nothing to do with that. So I'm totally fine with, Israel or anyone going after all these Nazi criminals at the end of the war and just putting a bullet in their head and disappearing.
Yeah. This would have been a crazy world, man, if someone wasn't able to step in and put a stop to what the German regime was up to, the Nazi regime was up to. I mean, the technology and things like that they were pushing. I think if they got, I don't know, what do you guys think? Like another 6 months or a year or something, we might have been looking at a completely different equation. I know Walther talks about this.
Possibly.
Well, I mean, look at, like, by the end of the war, the Germans were about to come out with the Messerschmitt 110s, right, which was a jet-powered aircraft. So that was the next step up, where the Allies had, the British had the Spitfires, the Americans had the P-40s and the P-41s and, the P-38 Lightnings and stuff like that. Those were all propellers.
Mm-hmm.
All of a sudden, you have the Nazis who were literally a year away from coming out with jet planes.
Mm-hmm.
That could have turned the tide of the war pretty quickly.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, let's get Kermit Loves Bacon says Bloomberg. Let me see this. Bloomberg is running an anti-2A Super Bowl ad, but they banned a pro-Second Amendment ad in the past. Gotta love the double standard. Yeah. What do you think about this? What do you think about Bloomberg's whole? I mean, he's definitely making an anti-gun stance here, right?
Oh yeah. I will tell you what I think about this. I got this. This is from, where is it? Over there, right? You can't really see it, but I got a text message saying, "Hi, Alan. Alan's my father, not me. This is Victor with Mike Bloomberg for president. Are you considering voting? Are you consider voting for him March 3rd, 2020 in the California primary elections?" My response, and this was on International Holocaust Memorial Day, right? 2 days ago. This was my response to answer whoever's question that was. First off, this isn't Alan. Secondly, Michael Bloomberg is a traitor to his Jewish brethren as well as the American people. Under no circumstances will I ever vote for a person who wants to take guns away from law-abiding Americans, especially Jews who had their guns taken away during the Holocaust. On that note, happy International Holocaust Remembrance Day.
Oh, man.
Yeah, spicy.
Yeah, so hopefully that answers the question.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course there's a double standard, but I don't know why people would think there wouldn't be at this point, I mean, if they would have allowed it, I would have been shocked. This is not shocking.
Is there because this probably leads into the next question that someone has. Armory and Axis says, so were your parents or grandparents survivors of the Holocaust? If so, why would they be anti-gun? And I think that there's people that, I'm sure people ask you this question. They ask me as a black guy, like, why are black people anti-gun? First of all, the answer is not every black person is anti-gun. I know lots of black people that from their cold dead hands you will get their guns. But obviously there is stuff like that going on out there. You've got Bloomberg, he's high profile, but there are other high profile people of Jewish descent that are anti-gun. Even some people we have a few survivors that were actually in the Holocaust. Why is that?
Wow. Okay, so this is like a three front answer, right? So first off, yes, my grandparents, all sets of my grandparents were all Holocaust survivors. I was one of the lucky ones to actually grow up knowing my grandparents and knowing their stories. I actually have, my grandmother is still alive. And she was, they called them Senpo Sugihara Jews. He was a Chinese consulate who was stamping visas for Jews to get them to China to escape Nazi Germany. He stamped about 4,500 visas, and my grandmother and my great-grandparents were one of the families. So my grandmother actually lived in Shanghai for about 8 years.
Wow.
Before she immigrated to America.
Okay.
Her husband, my grandfather, who passed away about 7 years ago, he had numbers tattooed on his arm. His name was Mark Diamond, and at age 14, he was pulling gold teeth out of dead bodies in Auschwitz. He survived the war, made his way to America, joined the Air Force, fought for America, and then, fortunately, cancer got him, but he was in his 80s, so he lived a long, full life to see his kids, grandkids, and even a bunch of his great-grandkids. So, and then my father's, that was my mother's side. My father's side, my grandmother, she survived. We never really were close with her, but my grandfather, who passed away about 1.5 years ago, he has an amazing story. I mean, this is a whole podcast in itself, but make a long story short, he was hid in a ditch about 5-6 feet long, 4 or 5 feet deep, and like 3.5 feet wide, by farmers. And hold on one second. Are you going to bed?
Yeah.
Oh,
sorry.
no, this is perfect.
Yeah. Handsome young man.
Speaking of Nazi Germany, here's my little my little blonde-haired, blue-eyed. I love you. Hey, close my door, buddy. He was I like driving my wife crazy because that's what husbands do. And about 3 weeks ago, he was kind of goose stepping across the house, but not even realizing it. And my wife just looks at me. She says, "Don't you dare say it." And I just turned to my little guy. I'm like, "Who taught you to goose step, or does it just come naturally?" And my wife lost it. But but I have a good time. It's, I will not make myself out to be a victim. So I think humor does a lot.
Yeah, it's a good coping mechanism. Absolutely.
Yeah, my grandfather, all my grandparents survived. Okay, so in terms of why a lot of Jews vote for anti-gun things, Ben Shapiro has a fantastic, about a 5-minute YouTube piece where why Jews vote left. In a lot of cases, take Bloomberg, take Dianne Feinstein, Blumenthal, all these Jews who are anti-gun, they're Jews in name only, right? They're not practicing Jews. They don't follow anything.
Okay, that sounds like Gino, just like Rhino.
Exactly. I mean, that's exactly what it is that they are Jews in name only. Their religion is leftism, is liberalism. They want power. Now, yes, those are politicians, right? Now, if you ask, hey, how come a lot of just American Jews are anti-gun? A lot of them are the same thing. A lot of them are Jews in name only. A lot of them believe, which is shocking, that only the government should have guns, and that's something that I speak about extensively, trying to educate the American Jewry on their Second Amendment rights, trying to explain to them, no, look, Hitler came in and registered the Jews' guns, confiscated the Jews' guns, and then look what happened. So it's something that I speak about a lot, and it's unfortunate that a lot of Jews are that way. At the same time, you do see a small uptick in anti-Semitism across the country, and Jews are really beginning to wake up and try and say, enough is enough. We're going to start arming ourselves.
Yeah, I think that's a good answer to that, and I think that answer goes to lots of other people that you would naturally think like, oh, these people would want to be able to defend themselves based on history. How come? Why are they siding with this side that's saying, hey, we're gonna take those things away from you, and we as the government are better to have the guns?
So I think it stems from something called the shtetl mentality, right? So shtetl was you had a big city in Europe, right? And then you had like I hate to use the word ghetto, but basically like a little Jewish ghetto area where all the Jews lived, and that's where, this little 1 mile radius of Jewish part of town. Unfortunately, in Europe, in 1800s, you have a lot of pogroms and Cossacks, and you have a lot of these Jews who are being beaten and women being raped and murdered and with no accountability. The problem is, if the Jews would fight back and, let's say, kill a Russian Cossack, well, one death equals 100-fold, right? So now you have them coming back in droves, going on this bloody rampage, killing more Jews. So they learned to just keep their heads down and kind of just take the beatings when it came. Fast forward, 100 years to the Holocaust, same thing. You have your pockets of Jewish resistance, but that mentality of kind of keeping your head down and, the government will kind of be there to protect us, except they won't, helped permeate the Holocaust. Following the Holocaust, you have all these Jews immigrating to America now. And again, after just witnessing the horrors of the Holocaust, what do they want to do? They just want to be left alone, live their lives, bury their head in the sand. But you can't do that because you have people who might come after you, right? That's where the Second Amendment comes in, is it allows you to defend yourself, not just against a tyrannical government, which is obviously the original intent, but, in case people do try to harm you, you could go after, you can defend yourself, right?
Yeah.
So you have Jews coming over to America, living in little Jewish areas again, which is okay. But once again, they're saying, we just want to be left alone. We're not going to fight back, because if we fight back, look what happens. We get killed 100-fold. So we're just going to kind of let bygones be bygones type of mentality.
Yeah. Yeah. I see what you're saying there.
Right.
Yeah.
So now, a lot of Jews still have that mentality, except now with all the anti-Semitism happening and this huge push across the country that the Second Amendment is for everyone, a lot of them are finally waking up. And again, that's what I'm trying to do, is trying to arm them with education on their Second Amendment rights.
Yeah, and what they're actually giving up. Okay, so Brian Quick wants to remind me, which is true, I guess. It's true. Can't deny it. Brian Quick says, it's Austrian, Hank, completely different country.
It was an Austrian gun.
Yeah.
Yes, the gun, right. I wasn't going to correct you. The Glock.
No, that's fine. You can correct me. It's cool.
Okay.
It's cool.
The Glock was an Austrian gun. The Austrians were part of the Nazi regime. They were annexed, but...
yeah, I mean, look at Arnold Schwarzenegger. If you don't think he's friggin', SS right there, yeah, he's Austrian, isn't he? Or
he is.
No
he actually he gives a lot of money to Holocaust organizations.
Okay.
He's been doing that for 30 years. I mean, we're talking about he's been a very big supporter of Jews and. I know a lot of people are like, well, his dad was a Nazi, so he's just, he's just. Was
Schwarzenegger's dad really?
That's what I've heard.
Oh.
I've read it a few places, but I don't know if they're really reputable places.
Okay.
Either way, is he doing anything wrong to the Jews? No. Is he giving money to Jewish organizations that help Holocaust education? Yes. Do I have a problem with the fact that he's Austrian? Not one bit. No. Will I buy a Mercedes or a BMW if I can afford it? You know what I'm saying? Like it's time. man, it drives me crazy that people still have this victim mentality, right? That we're all victims. Oh, Jews are still victims. You can't do this, you can't do that because we're victims. Anti-Semitism. I mean, look, hey, we're friends with Maj and KD and Argo and all those guys. They're not victims. They would, if you call them a victim, man, they would go off on you so hard, right?
Oh yeah, I saw it in the panel.
Right, you saw it in the panel, right?
Yeah.
And I'm the same way. Like, I am not going to be a victim. I'm not. Yes, I lost over 60 relatives in the Holocaust. My parents are screwed up in the head because they're children of the Holocaust, right? So they're friggin' paranoid and neurotic because their parents were. I get it. I refuse to be a victim. I'm not going to stand there and say, oh, you know what? It's been 80 years. I shouldn't buy a Mercedes-Benz. Now, I wouldn't buy a Mercedes-Benz because I don't really care for them. I would want a good old-fashioned American muscle car personally.
Okay. But I was about to say Audi is way better anyway.
Exactly right. but I'm saying, but that aside, like, you want to buy a German gun, buy a German gun. You want to buy a Mercedes, buy a Mercedes. Like, is the guy running the plant now? Is he the one that killed 6 million people? I don't think so. Oh, but his father and his grandfather were. I'm like, yeah, well, your grandfather was a total a-hole. Does that mean I treat you like an a-hole? Like, no. Like, it just,
yeah. There's a lot of that. There's a lot of people look at things that way. I know, for example, living in the South, right? There's a lot of people like, oh my God, you're gonna live in the South? They're going to burn crosses on your front lawn. There's all these crazy things that people think. Like and that's, I don't know if it's genetic memory from people or what it is other than just pure crazy. You shouldn't be afraid to do that. But there are people who are afraid to live in the South because of some idea that they have about the South, right? Some idea they have about the rebel flag, and all that kind of, or the Dixie flag, whatever you want to call it. And so they don't want to do it. And that's why they're staying, let's say, in New York and places like that and being totally bamboozled, getting the crap taxed out of them, and suffering because of the silly things they have in their heads.
When my book first came out and I realized that I would have to go to the gun industry, right? I cannot even begin to tell you how many Jews I know were like, dude, you got to be careful. Your industry, man, it is full of anti-Semites. And I'm like, well, I can't say yes or no because I've never been in this industry, but just based on me going to my gun range and hanging out with other like-minded gun individuals, I'm like, I kind of think you're wrong. And I will tell you, I've been in this industry now for just over 3 years. Not once have I witnessed any anti-Semitism from anyone in this industry, in any sort of manner. Not once.
Okay, that's cool. Give it time, though. I'm sure that human beings.
No,
yeah, there's gonna be a little bit of something.
I'm sure you have your anti-Semites in the industry. There's no question about it. I have yet, and I've been. I mean, you see me hustling. I'm everywhere. I have yet to witness any anti-Semitism. Not once yet. It's been fantastic.
Oh, okay.
I bumped in. I went to the Circle Bar Wednesday night or Thursday night last week, and at SHOT Show, and this German guy stopped me from Germany and part of the show, and we had a fantastic talk. And nothing. A German and a Jew drinking at a bar together. And you know what? We didn't kill each other because we're not a-holes. You know what I'm saying? Like, we literally just had a fantastic talk about Jewish history, especially Nazi history. And this guy signed petitions. He showed me, like, on this phone. He's like, yeah, I signed this petition. They were trying to rip down a Nazi statue where I'm from in Germany. And I signed a petition that they need to keep it up because it's educational. We can't forget. It was fantastic. And like I said, it's just amazing. I have not seen anything yet. Yeah.
Let's see. DCG44 says gun people are almost all good people. I think in general, that's how most gun guys are. We realize we're on an island.
Yeah.
We're threatened. We're happy to see everyone here, right?
Yeah.
What were you gonna say, Patrick?
No, I agree completely. There are the a-holes everywhere in the world, but gun people in general, as far as I have come in contact with, they're always really great people. First person to give you go to the gun range, there's always going to be a bunch of people going, hey, you want to try this? Here's a magazine. You want to try to shoot this? Like, nobody gives a crap.
Yeah. Yeah, that is true. That does happen at the range. That's mostly gun guys wanting, to for you to see their awesomeness.
It's true, but I mean, people don't have to offer you that.
No, they don't. No, they don't. And I do see that. Let's see. We should probably take a little break here because I think there's are there new people that have come in and bought things?
Yes. Okay, let's see. Hold on.
Yeah.
Let me pull it up. Okay, we have Holt William.
Okay. All right. What did he get?
A patch.
All right. Holt. By the way, everyone that's doing it today on the thing, and then we owe you a patch, get in touch with Lola so that we can get your so we can get your Hank Strange patch out to you. This only goes for this podcast, by the way. This particular one, while it's live right now. I'm just putting in the what is it called? The the disclaimer.
Oh, then we have Luis Valdez.
All right.
He bought 2 shirts. Not the gun control's not kosher. He brought I have a come and take it with the Gonzalez cannon, but it's come and take it in Hebrew.
Oh, okay.
Then
nice.
He bought another shirt, the Nation of Israel Lives shirt.
Mm-hmm.
Bradley Tannehill bought this shirt. Yeah, it's
It looks like Joseph Anthony says he got a shirt.
Did I miss that one? If I missed that, I mean, it could be. I literally have like 60 emails all of a sudden. So if he did, I did get an email from Richard Hughes.
Mm-hmm.
He wants to order another shirt added to his order. Unfortunately, Richard, everything, if he's still here, I'm going to email him too.
Mm-hmm.
Everything is print on demand.
Mm-hmm.
So if he wants something added to his order, he has to go place a new order.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Because I have over 70 shirts on my website, men's, women's, different sizes, and we're talking about $500,000 worth of overhead if I would have it all in stock. And
yeah.
I can't even get a new handgun. So, I apologize. But if he wants to go get one, I would appreciate it. But I can't add anything to the order. That would be. There's only a few things that I actually have. I send my books. I fulfill my books, my patches, and a few stickers. That's it.
Oh, okay. All right. So apologies for that, Richard, but you can still get it. Let me get this comment in from Bricks.
Yeah.
Bricks says, I respectfully must disagree, Hank. While it's true not all people are of a racist mindset, there are still some that are. I'm in the South, and I have been literally refused service because of my color.
Where at? What city? What township?
Yeah, I would like to. Yeah, let's find out about that. So I'm
sure there are shitty people out there, but
absolutely, I believe it.
It has to be so rare these days. I can't imagine it being that widespread.
Yeah, there's people like I'm not trying to tell you I haven't come across people like I remember there was one time some guy trying to tell me he doesn't believe in the mixing of the races.
Just like, okay, that's fine.
Yeah, I was like, yeah, this guy's an idiot.
Daughter, so whatever.
Yeah, I mean, I myself am a mixing of the races, so I don't know. He doesn't believe in me, but I'm here.
I was actually set up with a black Jewish girl before I met my wife.
Okay.
Her parents converted, and
okay.
She was black, and I had no. I mean, I didn't end up going out with her because I wouldn't be able to go on the first date for like a month, and the way Jewish dating works, you don't necessarily wait for a date because a lot of them are like blind dates, right? Mm-hmm. So she went out with someone else, and I couldn't go out with her. But man, doesn't bother me.
Yeah, I mean, now that you bring it up, how does Jewish dating work?
Oh,
is this like a whole different kind of dating?
So yes and no.
Okay.
So
and BabyFace, I think BabyFace, he's married to is Marley Jewish officially or not Jewish?
Jewish. So as far as I know, Jews are through your mother's bloodline, so she is Jewish because her mom's Jewish. Her mom's like New York Jew, but her dad's Christian. They celebrated both growing up, and she's not practicing. But
Okay.
no, technically yes, she is Jewish.
Yeah, she's 100% Jewish. You know, not even. It's all from the maternal lineage. So.
It is. Oh, okay.
Yeah, if your mom is Jewish, you are 100% Jewish. You might not be practicing.
Yeah.
But.
Yep, that's Marley.
Very cool.
So that's according to Jewish tradition?
Well, Jewish law.
Jewish law. Oh, okay.
Judaism is handed down through the maternal side.
Oh, okay. Okay. So that just goes for that, right? Like, who else hands that down based on the mother? Are there other cultures that whatever the mom is,
I
don't know.
Yeah. Okay.
Question.
Yeah. I'm just curious. My mother's Indian, and I identify as being black. You know what I mean? But I do have people on the Indian side of the family that when they hear that, they get pissed off. Yeah. They're like, because I've heard like what you're saying before. They're like, no, you're actually Indian.
Right.
Because your mom is Indian, so I don't know.
I mean, you got the Indian butt, my man. Hate to tell you.
Well, I mean, that's true. Can't deny that.
Can't get away from it.
Yeah.
It's following you around.
Yeah. So I'm curious about this, just for when we all go to Israel, and I don't know if Israel's like Vegas, and what happens there stays there. But I'm married. So.
Hank's now wondering, how do we meet these Israeli girls
on
Instagram?
So look, I have a lot of friends that, went to a party, met a girl, they started talking, they got married. You know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
Good old fashioned way. In a lot of cases, like my wife and I, we were set up through a mutual friend. A lot of people go through matchmakers. People who. This is what this person's looking for. That's what this person's looking for. Let's try setting up on a date. It either goes well or it doesn't. So, there's different. There are different ways, but just Jewish dating can be a pain, though. It definitely could be a pain.
Yeah, I can imagine. Okay, let's see. Okay, so Bricks has this. Says, I was a young man working as a plumber. Went to Story in Burke County, North Carolina, and was told we don't serve your kind here. Now it's been years back, but still in this day and age, crazy. Okay.
That's some bullshit.
Yeah.
You don't want to give them their money, your money anyway, so tell them to fuck off.
Yeah. Yeah. That's listen, unfortunately, we're never going to get rid of all of that kind of stuff.
Right.
We're never going to get rid of it. Yeah. So
racism, anti-Semitism, any other kind of ism.
Yeah. Stupidity, ignorance.
Yeah. It will always be there. But the scale on which anti-Semitism and racism was, call it in the 40s, 50s, and 60s versus now, I mean, there's no comparison. I'm not saying that you're not going to find it places, but it's not as prevalent as it was.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so Armament and Axis says this.
Yes.
Yehuda said a black Jewish girl. Can we agree Jewish is a religion and not a race? What do you think about that?
Oh, yeah. So, yes, Judaism is a religion. It was actually a very hot topic a few weeks ago or a couple months ago when Trump came in and actually said Judaism was a race. I have a lot of friends that were very, very mixed reactions because on one hand, we're not a race, and by labeling us a race, that's what Hitler did. Jews were a race. So, yes, I agree more with the concept of we are a religion and not a race. When I...
So if someone doesn't practice the religion, are they not Jewish?
No.
Or is it a cultural heritage that you can have? Because I always saw it as kind of like both. I don't know if that sounds...
It is a cultural heritage. So,
right.
You said your wife's Marley?
Yes, Marley.
So Marley, she might not be practicing, but she is 100% Jewish.
Mm-hmm.
So it's that simple. So you can have somebody who is not practicing and be Jewish, and you can have somebody who is practicing and just be a terrible Jew. You know what I'm saying? Like so just one of those things that yeah, I would find I would find Judaism is more of a. I mean, look, when I fill out forms, if I fill out a 4473 form, it says race. I click white. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm white. I can't hide that, right? If it said religion, if it said Judaism on it or Jewish, I'll still probably click white. They don't need to know that I'm Jewish. I don't need to promote. I mean, yes, I go by the moniker the Pew Pew Jew. It's not like I'm hiding the fact that I'm a Jew, but I think Judaism is a religion, and it's not a race.
Okay. All right. Okay. So let me see. I don't know if anyone else wants to jump in there on that one. Flying Rich Opinion says human equals race. Is that flying? Is that what? How many accounts does Richard have?
Is he? Oh.
Is that fly? Yeah, I'm assuming.
Yes,
I'm assuming that's yeah.
That's Richard.
Yeah, he says human equals race. So there you go. Okay. Aries Training Facility says, "How do we get set up for the shirts?" I don't know what that question is about.
I mean, you can go on my website and buy them. I mean,
yeah, you have to clarify what he's talking about. I don't know what shirts if you're talking about the Pew Pew Jew shirts, go to the pewpewjew.com and you can get the shirts. If that's what you're talking about, I'm not sure. And then so Brian Quick says, aren't Jews really a tribe? And Red Bear says they label themselves as a race. So, and then Armament and Axis says exactly Yehuda. He's happy with you. No one's going to be, you're not going to get 100% on anything over here. And
I know, I mean, I guess maybe there are Jews who label themselves as a race of people, but I mean, I have a lot of friends saying, like, we got to stop using the word anti-Semitic because anyone from the Middle East is Semitic, right? So, like, stop using that. I mean,
the connotation, it's like it means something different than what it could ultimately mean.
Right.
Like it has a very distinct definition.
Right. So, I mean, I'm sure there are Jews that label themselves as a race, but, I mean, I'm a white guy.
Yeah.
Literally, it's that simple. I'm a white guy.
Did you ever do a genetic test?
No.
Oh.
No, but
Okay.
I mean, I know my family has been part in Europe for gazillion years, so.
Okay. Everyone believes that, man, until they do those genetic tests. I don't even know if those genetic tests are accurate, by the way. I mean, at some point here, we're going to find out that's just all BS.
Yeah, I'm going to come back being more Indian than you, right?
Yeah, but I'm telling you, you never know, man. If you ever do it, let us know. Okay, listen, Me Too on Tube wants to see the shirt. He wants to see the shirt. Let me go put you full screen. He wants to see this shirt everyone's talking about. Get up. There you go. Gun control is not kosher. There you go. And that's on, if you're interested in that, you can get it from the pewpewjew.com if you guys are looking for it. And if anyone, I made the promise, anyone gets those while we're on air here, you'll get a patch. You'll get a Ham Strange patch.
Have them send you the confirmation emails or whatever.
Yeah.
Because I just had someone, I mean, literally, I just got, oh, God, just right now.
Yeah, send us your confirmation emails before Lola sends you out the patch, though. So that's going to happen.
I got one person got my God-given right shirt. It's a picture of, I don't know if you saw that one. It's a picture of Moses carrying the two.
Let me go to your site and pull up the shirts. Hold on a second. This is going to be, should we just go to men t-shirts probably?
Yeah, you can go to men's t-shirts.
Wow, you do have a lot of shirts. Jeez.
Oh, yeah. My mind warp speed and
oh, there's a bunch of shirts in here. Man. What system are you using to get your shirts out there?
Well, I have a Shopify page, and
Okay.
I go through Printful as my print on demand.
Okay, you've got Tactical Shark Pew Pew. Which one did you say this guy got?
It's on the first line, the God-given right.
Okay. Be your own guardian. Never again. Gun control is not kosher. Oh, okay. Hold on. Maybe on my thing here, it's the second one. All right. Let's see. Let's pull that up. And this is. And who is this here? This looks like
Moses.
Moses with the 10 Commandments, but he says God-given right. Okay.
2 A's a God-given right. So they got that.
That's
that guy
cool. That's a cool shirt, actually.
Yeah.
I'm digging it.
I got that one. This guy Michael also bought that one and bought this is my Boogaloo shirt.
You've got the Boogaloo shirts up there already?
I do. It would probably be on page 2 or 3.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
Yeah. My mind works at warp speed, so I have an idea.
Wow.
Luckily, I do a lot of my own designs.
Oh, I like G.I. Jew. That's funny.
G.I. Jew.
Okay.
Yeah, I have a really good time with everything.
Yeah, you are not messing around, man. You're not messing around. I need to get my website with this many T-shirts in there. I'm just gonna steal all your designs, put a mohawk on it. No, that's good. So you use Shopify?
I use Shopify as my main page, and then I have Printful is my printer.
Oh, okay.
It hooks up right to your page, so I have it all set up. So all the shirts that were just bought, I don't have to worry about it. I'm not sending it out. I just put the image up. Printful takes care of all the printing, all the shipping, and I get paid like every 2 days. Right.
Okay.
So.
No, that works great. That works great.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try to get up, do better with that when it comes to my website and stuff like that. I'm working on it.
Let me know. I've helped a lot of people kind of revamp their site.
Mm-hmm.
I've given people my password and I walk them through to see how the whole back end works. So if you want, you can jump on the phone anytime. And
Okay. I didn't want to be like racist and go, "You're a Jewish guy. Tell me how to."
Make some money.
Yeah.
Well, it was funny.
How do I get a deal in Hollywood?
Yeah. It was funny when we were at Argo's gun release. I'm sitting on the couch, right in front of everybody, and they're passing Bravo Oscar around, and Argo's kind of in front, and you're the one that jumped in and said, "How much is it?" Right?
Mm-hmm.
Serious questions.
Right, and I'm not lying to you. I walked up to Argo afterwards. I said, "Dude, I was about to ask how much does the gun cost."
Mm-hmm.
But as the only Jew in that room, I'm like, "You know what? I'm just gonna wait for someone else to say it." A second later, there's Hank in the back. Like, how much is the MSRP?
Yeah. No one was. To me, I was like, somebody better ask this question.
Like I was literally about to.
Okay, so Michael Avon says ordered some shirts means I could put off laundry for another day. I don't know how long it's gonna take you to get those shirts, but okay. Hope that works. Night Train says, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, I think we just got 2 more orders.
Oh boy. Okay.
Wow. I don't know who John Parsons is, but he bought 3 shirts and I love him.
Hank's fans turn out for sure.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, this is amazing. I can't even begin to tell you how awesome you guys are.
Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome. All you guys are gonna have to get in touch with Lola to get your patches, by the way. And I know
for something up and then goes, I'm not gonna actually do it. Lola has to do it.
Can you imagine, Patrick, the kind of trouble I'm gonna be in when I get off this?
Yeah. Well, thank goodness it's her birthday. You better take her out to dinner or something.
I gotta get in so much trouble. She's gonna be like, "Really? Do you know there's a limited amount of these that you're offering?" Okay, so but yes, it's still a good deal while we're here. You got like what is it? You got about 18 minutes. Night Train says, unfortunately, a large majority of Jewish people politically lean left and vote Democrat.
Yep. Again, a lot of them are, like I explained earlier, a lot of them are Jews in name only. In the Orthodox Jewish world, more often than not, they will tend to vote conservative. But in the Reformed and conservative Jewish world, and I don't mean conservative politically Jewish world, but a lot of them tend to vote left. And it's the idea of like a cafeteria Catholic. We have those in Judaism as well. And again, Jews in name only. Religion comes second to politics. So that's why, like I said, Ben Shapiro has a great breakdown, like a little quick 5-minute YouTube video. If you go to YouTube and type in, Ben Shapiro, Jewish Democrat, you'll find the video. It's really a fantastic video.
And Carry My Revolver in Single Action says, ask him his thoughts of people calling Ben Shapiro a Nazi.
Yeah, that's hilarious.
Yeah, what do you think about that?
So, oh man.
Oh boy, you got to think about this one.
Oh well, no, it's just one of those things that it's hilarious to me. I grew up with Ben. I've known him for 30-something years.
Oh, okay,
really?
Cool.
Yeah, I used to write for his old website, Truth Revolt, and every now and then I'll write opinion pieces for the Daily Wire.
Cool.
I have never met somebody so big yet so humble. And I know he doesn't come off that way, but if you meet him in person, he is soft-spoken. He is just such a down-to-earth, normal guy. And, I just find it incredibly amusing that people will call him a Nazi. I mean, it's like calling me a Nazi, right? Like why? Because I believe in the Second Amendment, and I believe the Democratic Party's ruining America, and I'm pro-Trump. I mean, I didn't used to be but I'm pro-Trump. And I'm like, yeah, so I'm a Nazi, right? Okay.
This is hilarious.
Wait, are those dames people buying shirts?
Yes.
Oh, so here's the thing. Yeah. So a lot of them are people buying shirts, and then a lot of them, it's kind of annoying because you have like, it'll say someone bought a shirt, and then I get an email from Printful saying order has been submitted, and then I have an email from PayPal saying, oh, you have a notification from PayPal that you have. So it's like if one person buys a shirt, you get like 4 emails, but when 4 people buy a shirt, you're getting like 16 emails in a second. So yeah, that's what you're hearing, and I apologize.
No, it's cool. That's cool. Thanks to everyone out there doing that.
Yeah. Seriously.
Yeah, and you guys need to get in touch with Lola and BabyFace P to figure out how
Don't come talking to me. I can't help with this.
Come on, Patrick. Your name is Patch. Rick.
I don't know how I can get patches to people that I don't own.
All right, so Flying Rich says Pew Pew Jew on IG.
At the Pew Pew Jew, yes.
Yeah. All right, so where were we? You were talking about Ben Shapiro. Let me ask you something about Ben Shapiro. Has he always talked that fast? Because seriously,
I think as he gets smarter, which I know is hard to imagine Ben getting smarter, but as he gets smarter, just more stuff goes in his head, and he just flies.
It has to come out at some point.
It just, I mean, the guy speaks at 5 million words a minute, but the craziest thing is, if you can follow his speed, he's very easy to understand. Meaning, he's hands down the smartest person I've ever met in my life. Like, there's not even a question about it. Despite him being, in my opinion, off the charts genius, he makes everything relatable. If you're able to slow down his words as he's talking, you're like, oh, well, that makes sense. Oh, yeah, that's understandable. Like, he's not like some rocket scientist spewing all this stuff, and you're like, you lost me at hello, right? He is able to convey all the messages in a very clear and easy way.
Okay, yeah. I think I could follow him the way that he speaks so fast. Here's the thing: at the end of like looking at one of his videos or something, I'm freaking tired. If I watch him on Joe Rogan, I'm like
Brain
wiped
just
out.
starts hurting.
Yeah, I'm like okay, let me put this in slower or something. I don't know. It's but yeah, he's cool. I like him. I'm a fan.
Well, it was actually pretty awesome. At the Gun Rights Policy Conference in Phoenix. One night I was sitting with Pincus, Rob Pincus, Argo, KD, Maj, and a few other people, and all of a sudden my cell phone rings, and they kind of look at me. I'm like, "Sorry guys, it's Ben Shapiro." and like you can see, like we're talking about like Maj, right? Who's the king of the street? Like my street cred went from here to here.
Yeah.
It was great. It was a lot. It was a very funny, but
yeah, that would actually be a good combo. I would love to see Maj and Ben Shapiro.
I am going to be talking and possibly seeing Ben very soon.
Mm-hmm.
So I would like to try to hook them up because I think getting Maj on with Ben would be a truly fantastic hour or two of video, television, radio, computer, or whatever.
That might break the internet.
Possibly. I think it would be pretty awesome. So.
Yeah. Flying Rich says he wants Ben Shapiro on the Supreme Court.
Oh, yeah.
Let's see. Philadelphia Patriot says, do you know the Hebrew Hammer? Okay.
I don't know the Hebrew Hammer, but it is one of my favorite movies of all times, if that's what he's going with.
Yeah. Joseph Anthony wants you to know that he is Hosifus. No, Hosiphius. Osiphius on IG. He's Osiphius on IG, just so that you know that. Let's see. Brian Quick says, but can Ben name all of the presidents in order while field stripping an AR?
That's some American shit right there.
I can either confirm or deny.
Armament and Axis says, I've never seen anyone really beat Ben Shapiro in a debate. I think he just confounds and confuses.
Well, yes and no. I mean, if you listen to any debate he's in, like he says, facts don't care about your feelings, right? So, like, when someone is speaking from the heart and like a bleeding heart liberal type of deal, and Ben's like, like my favorite example, right, is you had this girl freaking out over the Boy Scouts. I don't know if you ever saw this video, and she's like, well, where in the name does it say that a girl can't be in the Boy Scouts? Ben just looks at her, and and I'm not making this up. You can literally go on YouTube and find this. Ben just looks at her and goes, in the name Boy Scouts. And, it's not a matter of confounding them. It's just that when they're confronted with fact, they can't get an answer. They don't know how to answer that. Right? So it's not that they get confounded, just like, oh, crap. What am I supposed to say now? Like, he literally just proved me wrong, and I've got nothing, so I got to fall back on Ben Shapiro's a Nazi, right?
Exactly.
That's where it comes from.
Yeah. Damn your logic.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Let's see here. Kathleen Music Lover says, I assume Ben Shapiro is pro firearms.
Yes.
He is? Okay.
100%.
Can you tell us what kind of guns he owns? Or I don't want to give away any security details.
I honestly I can't answer that because I don't know.
Okay.
But also, like you said, if I did know, I probably wouldn't be able to tell you.
Okay. Yeah.
For security, unfortunately, the guy has to travel around with the whole security detail with him.
Okay, but he is pro firearms.
100%.
Pro Second Amendment.
Yep.
Okay. Let's see. Dan Hates You said Ben Shapiro speeds up his videos like Lucas Botkins. Really?
I don't know who Lucas Botkins is.
Yeah, I don't know either. Patrick?
That's the guy that owns T-Rex Arms, the holster company.
Oh. Okay. So does Ben Shapiro speed up his videos? I don't know if that's
I
true.
don't think so. I think he's joking.
Oh, okay. Let's see. Red Bear is saying something about Shapiro versus Enoch. Shapiro versus Enoch. What is that?
Whatever it is, Shapiro will win.
Yeah, he says, has been seriously debated a comparable opponent, though not a college student. Okay, I'm not sure.
Yeah, I mean, Ben has debated other people. I mean, what was didn't he go up against,
Red Bear is saying, like, matchups he would like to see. So he's... okay. So he says Shapiro versus Stryker would leave me all warm and fuzzy.
Stryker?
Yeah, who's Stryker?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Is he one of the G.I. Joes?
That's the closest thing I know. Red Bear goes right over my head every single time. Yeah. So I have no idea who he's talking about. Let's see. Big Cliff says he listens to a podcast that he said he carries. So I hope he does. Yeah, I hope he does.
I don't know how this turned into the Ben Shapiro show, though.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
And Atomic Bulls is, I'm just getting some people's comments out there. Atomic Bull says Ben is a pro Second Amendment, but then he puts in quotes, but person. I don't know what that means. And then Len Holt says Louis Bodkin and family got the law changed in Tennessee to get rid of the ammo tax here. Oh, okay.
That was part of their push lately in the last couple years, I think.
Yeah, and Red Bear says Eric Stryker. Still don't know who that is.
Eric Stryker.
Yeah, you're gonna have to look that up.
Football defensive lineman?
Yeah, I don't know. You're gonna have to tell who is this Eric Stryker guy. Okay,
I have no idea.
Fine. Let's move on from that. Let's see. So what's we're gonna obviously have to have you come back here, but what kind of stuff are you getting up to nowadays, man? What's going on with you nowadays?
Oh man, so I finished my next book. Unfortunately, SHOT Show this year was a bust. I couldn't find sponsorship for it, which is okay.
Mm-hmm.
You win some, you lose some. So I'm thinking actually about maybe starting a GoFundMe
to publish the book.
To crowdsource it.
Okay.
Crowdfund to get. I mean, I need to about probably around $5,000, but I'd probably up it to around $6,000 just to be on the safe side, and see if I can raise the money that way, because I love my fans. I love the people who follow me. I think they're awesome, and I would love to somehow get them involved in my next book. And if you donate a certain amount, you'll be printed on the sponsorship page, and
that's cool.
Something like that. You'll be able to get into my next book. So I'm weighing my options. I'm looking into it now. Like I said, we just got back from SHOT just a week ago, not even.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm doing that. I was supposed to have a phone call with a relatively large YouTube, not even YouTube, but just a very big social media personality who is very interested in writing a book with me. And this person is big. I mean, like really, really, really big. So I can tell you guys offline.
Is it PewDiePie?
No,
Yeah, like I see the headline right now: Pew Pew Jew and PewDiePie.
No.
Okay. I'm just teasing.
No, not him. But I can tell you offline.
Okay.
But yeah, it's something that I would be beyond excited for. So this year, I'm trying to get in with PSA and maybe they came out with that Star of David lower. So I want to see if they'll do like a Pew Pew Jew lower, like do a little co-branding. They seemed interested at SHOT Show, and I just I got a lot planned, so just working hard every day.
Okay, all right, that all sounds like good stuff. Let me see. I'm trying to see if we've got some other questions coming in here. Can you tell us what the book is about?
It's actually not gun related.
Okay.
But it is a children's book. Let's just call it patriotism for children.
Cool. Okay.
Okay.
So some need a little more of, and a lot less Kaepernick in our lives.
Oh, okay. Understood. Armament and Axis says Hank equals dork. Laugh out loud. Thank you. I appreciate it. And no patches for Armament and Axis. There you go. That's on the American Freedom Outdoors wants to know: do you have iron sights on your rifle or an optic?
I have pop-up iron sights as well as an optic.
Okay, very good. And the motorboater says, I just ordered a book for my little nephew. Can't wait to get it to him.
So I will make sure to get it out tomorrow.
Awesome. Flying Rich gave us a couple of bucks here. He says, happy 2000 Babyface P. So Patrick here has gotten to how much over 2,000 subscribers are you, Babyface?
Let's see right now. I'm trying not to look. I'm trying not to get like.
Oh, you don't want to get too caught up in it. So now, do you feel like a YouTube megastar?
2023.
Oh, look at you. Are you Are you signing
I'm
autographs?
a megastar. Yeah, I can get an autograph out to you. I got stickers with butt sweat all over them for when I carried them in my pocket for too long.
We have Yehuda here. You can start writing that book right now on how to become a YouTube sensation.
God, that is not for me to answer.
You have to be as good looking as Brandon Herrera.
Oh,
that's right. That's exactly.
You're never getting there. You're never getting there.
Yeah, no, I don't have that hair. My hair's all gone.
I'm good friends with Brandon. I'm on a small Instagram group chat with him and a few other people in the industry.
Mm-hmm.
And Brandon is a good guy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I like Brandon a lot.
Yeah.
He's just like, anytime I need help, like, hey man, I just came out with this new book. Can you just give me a shout out? It's not even a hesitation. He's like, yeah, no problem. Like a minute later, he posts it. Like there's not a lot of people like that in the industry who are as big as. I mean, Brandon's getting bigger every day.
Mm-hmm. So is his hair.
Well, yeah. So is his hair. Brandon Herrera, as we make.
Right.
Yeah, we have he's a great guy, really, really good guy.
Yeah. What were you gonna say, Patrick?
Oh, nothing. I was just Brandon's awesome. The AK series I bought the parts kit from him.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Let me take a quick break here. We're gonna go a little bit long because we came in a little bit late. So we're gonna go.
I've got enough time. I mean, you tell me we can go for as long as.
Yeah, I mean I know we're at 9, but we're gonna go a little over just because we came in late. But I have to remind people of this because Olight has a sale coming up. What? Olight having a sale? You don't say. So anyway, the Olight Warrior X, there's a sale that goes on tonight. I'll make a video. I'll actually open this up and show you guys the Warrior X 600 lumens. That's right, 600 lumens. I'm sorry. Yeah, 600 meter throw. Sorry, 2,250 lumens. That's my bad. Throwing 600 meters, so that's a pretty long throw. And I'll put up details of that sale. And then they have a sale on the i5T, which the proceeds from this are going to go to help fight the effects of the coronavirus. Obviously, Olight is like in China, and China's getting hit pretty hard.
Don't breathe the air that comes out of that.
Oh, it smells good.
You better be careful. You're gonna catch that coronavirus.
That's that. This one is sealed. This one is hermetically sealed. So anyway, there's there's an Olight sale going up. If you guys buy stuff through our link, you help support us. Plus the sales from this goes to help with the coronavirus. So I'm just telling you guys that. I'll throw something up after this. It starts here at midnight, so I just wanted to let everybody know about that. I will throw those things up. I've been carrying. I think I've had like my Olight that I've got here in my pocket for my H1R Nova for, I don't know, maybe like 2.5, almost 3 years. This is like my I would like to see them come out with a more powerful version of this so I could blind Lola every night.
G44 says, is there a day without an Olight sale?
Yeah, they do a lot of sales. But we're trying to help them out here. Let's see. Okay, Night Train says, please ask Yehuda what are some of his favorite Israeli-made firearms. I think he alluded to that earlier. But let's ask that question again anyway.
Oh God. So hands down the Uzi, right? I mean, I absolutely the Uzi is just a friggin' awesome
Iconic.
gun.
Yeah.
It's iconic. The thing runs well, and I absolutely love the Uzi.
I'm sensing you're not a fan of the Tavor.
I mean, I like the Tavor. It's not a bad gun. It's actually a great gun, but I'm an AR guy. I like the feeling of the AR versus a bullpup.
Oh, your Hank is 100% bullpup all day, every day. So
yeah, that's what I collect.
Them.
I collect bullpup. I have ARs. I got ARs too, but I collect bullpups. I like the awesomeness, And the isn't the Tavor the Hebrew hammer? Someone was asking us about that earlier. Or it was something else. Was there some other gun that was called the Hebrew hammer?
I mean, maybe Jericho.
Was it? Okay, I know that there was a gun called that, right? I think so. Let's see.
Jericho turns you into a space cowboy. Anybody gets that reference?
I don't know what that means.
Hank doesn't watch anime. He has no idea.
Oh, it's an anime thing. Oh boy.
Yeah. Somebody will get that reference.
Richard Monder, he's in England, Yehuda. He wants to know, do the shirts and books ship to the UK?
Unfortunately, not at the moment.
Sorry, Richard.
I have to try to figure that out. I know shipping is a lot more expensive sending it over there. The books I probably could get to the UK. I just haven't been asked that yet. So I don't. And
this is your first time, yeah. So can he get in touch with you and find out like if there's extra shipping or something?
Well, there definitely will be extra shipping because right now, standard shipping for a book off my website, signed copies, just I think like $6.95. But I don't know how much international shipping is. I have to look in.
So let me key you into Richard Monder, and this is the reason why I'm telling you this here for a second. Richard is in England. He was here last year visiting us. He comes every year. He's going to be here at the NRA show. He's a pro-Second Amendment guy, pro-gun guy. He has a job over in England. He literally collects bottles and does recycling stuff and all that to raise the money to come here, but a really good guy. So I don't know if it's possible, like, for him to buy the book from you or something like that at NRA or.
I mean, if you're going to see him at the NRA show, we can somehow have someone. I'll just use you. Hank, if you want to order a book for him, bring it to the NRA show. I can sign it to him.
Are you going to be at the show?
I'm not. It's actually on. It's on Passover.
Oh, right. Of course. Yeah. Okay.
Second year in a row that they did that.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Let's see if we can work something out. Maybe we can work something out.
Yeah.
We can help.
Like I said, I'll look into sending it to England. I just know it's super expensive to send anything overseas. But if he's coming in, I mean, NRA show is only in 4 months from now.
I think so.
Give or take.
Probably less. Right?
End of April. So.
Yeah.
If there's somehow someone orders it and brings it to him at the NRA show, by all means, I'm more than happy to do that.
Yeah. Okay. And then I see there's a bunch of people congratulating BabyFace in the 2000s.
Oh, thank you.
Let's see. Lots of different things going through here. I'm trying to see. Do you have any questions, Patrick, that I missed here?
No. I think we covered a lot of stuff tonight.
Yeah.
I know you said you wanted to go over some of the jokes in the joke book.
Oh, jokes. Let's get some jokes in before we get out of here. Yeah.
Keep in mind, like the ultimate corny dad jokes, right? So
okay.
Some of them will make you cringe, and some of them are actually funny. But I'll tell you like some of the really popular ones. So the first one, what's the difference between a Glock shooter and a 1911 shooter?
Hold on. You trying to figure this out, Patrick?
I was thinking. I'm trying to think where this is
going. What is it?
Keep in mind, I wrote this book because there are people in our industry, call it like 80% of the industry, who are way too serious and do not know how to have fun.
Okay.
So the answer to that is 45 years in the AARP membership.
Oh. Oh,
good, yeah.
the 19. Okay,
a
I
good
got
dad
it.
joke.
Yeah, I get it.
You have why didn't the college grad tell her parents how she paid for schooling?
Mm.
She was field stripping for money.
Okay, that's a good one. That's a good one.
Oh, my son, my 10-year-old, came up with a joke. He's very proud.
Mm-hmm.
And I actually put it in the book, is why don't revolver shooters like parks?
Why don't revolver shooters like parks? Okay, I don't know. Tell me why.
They have slides. Like I
Okay,
said,
get it. I get it. I get
it's
it.
just a good,
Hmm.
fun, clean, corny dad joke book that it's great for stocking stuffers or a little coffee table. You just want people to, really just giggle. I mean, that's
Yeah.
really what it
How
is.
many jokes are in the book? I'm throwing up. I'm gonna throw up right now. The cover of the book so everyone can see that.
There are 105.
Okay, 105, and if people order it from your website, they get a signed copy, right?
Signed copies are coming from me, and then you have on my website, and then you can go to Amazon, and I have all my books on Amazon as well.
Yeah, and it looks like 67 pages.
Yeah, it's just
Yeah.
like three jokes per page. Some of them have one joke per page with a corresponding image.
Yeah.
What? Like I have one. What happens when you give? Oh, what is it? God, I don't even remember this one. What happened when the ATF gave guns to the drug cartels?
I don't know
No,
what happened.
there you go. Nobody knows.
Oh boy.
We kind of go after a
Uh-huh.
lot of people. Just
Hmm.
you got to be able to laugh at your situation. I remember
Mhm.
this old guy was reading my joke book at a store that I worked at, and it was
Hmm.
on display. And he goes through. He literally stands there for 30 minutes reading every page slowly.
Oh
And
boy.
when he finished, I kind of walked over and I'm like, "So, what do you think of the joke book?" And he turns to me, goes, "I'm the exact words." He goes, "Some I understood, some I didn't, some I highly disagree with." And I'm like, "And you're the person that I wrote the book for."
Right, right. Yeah.
So
Absolutely. That's very cool. That's very cool. I'll see if I can get Lola to maybe later on put up some links to the Amazon
cool.
or
I
something
appreciate
like
it.
that. Yeah. You said all the books are on Amazon, or?
Yeah, I technically have 6 books, but four you can get 4 of them signed on my website, and then all 6 are on Amazon.
Okay, very cool. All right, listen. You know what? We definitely have to have Yehuda back over here. It's been pretty awesome. But I know Babyface P is probably his his stomach is eating him from inside out.
Last time I ate was noon, and I am ready. Marley brought dinner home, so I am gonna go
Yeah,
eat.
so let's wrap this up here. Let's wrap this up here. So Babyface P, there's all the starving children in Africa, Babyface P.
I know, and I'm gonna
And
just think about that as I'm devouring my
yeah,
sandwich.
yeah.
So good.
So we'll start with you. Tell us how the folks out there can support you. How can they follow you and help grow your social media, YouTube, and podcast?
Yeah. So Babyface P on YouTube. So youtube.com/babyface P. Baby_face P on Instagram. And babyfaceP.com takes you to my Facebook. I'm a little sick right now, but I just still have I still have some content coming out, and we'll have plenty more on the way. This is just the beginning for the channel.
Yeah, absolutely. Maybe we'll get him. Maybe we'll get him back tomorrow because he didn't get. He didn't get a chance. I don't know. Maybe
We'll
not.
see.
Maybe not. Yeah, you didn't get a chance to talk about SHOT Show.
Oh, and
Uh,
I didn't get a chance to talk about my trip to Austin and how terrible it was.
yeah. Okay. Also, he doesn't like
The
Austin.
trip was awesome. The city is. Oh, God.
Yeah. In case anyone doesn't know, Yehuda, how can the folks out there support you? Follow up with you, man.
Yeah, so again, if you want to reach out to me, you can definitely hit me up through my website, thepewpewjew.com. I do a lot of social media. I'm about 50 followers away from 5,000 followers
Nice.
on Instagram. And when I do hit 5,000, I'm actually going to do a pretty cool giveaway.
Okay. Awesome.
So the giveaway's not going yet. Once I hit the 5,000, people are gonna be able to pick a T-shirt. There's gonna be 2 winners. Either any T-shirt on my website, they'll get, and also they will get a like a down blanket, with any of my images.
Oh, cool. Oh, with your image on it.
Well, well, I mean, yeah, I'm sure everyone wants a picture of my face on
on their blanket.
No, but I'll probably pick like 5 or 6 choices that they can choose of different designs.
Oh, okay.
And if they want this on a down blanket, not a down blanket, like a Sherpa type blanket.
Oh, okay.
They can put that in. So I'm going to do 2 giveaways like that.
All right, very cool. So here, let me do this right now. I am going to remind everyone to go check out hankstrange.com. That is the website. Sign up for our email list. Joseph Anthony says he's wearing the green version of the retro shirt that I'm wearing right now. Hold on, let me show that off. There you go. What? Retro shirt. Okay, so check out hankstrange.com. Sign up for the email list there. That's how we're going to give away stuff. And I am going to drop everyone. Stand by. I'm going to drop the end right now on everyone. Make sure that you subscribe, thumbs up, comment here, ring the bell so you can be notified every time we go live. We're on audio as well, so if you want to listen to us in the car on a long trip, you can find us at your favorite places to get audio. We are approaching 500 episodes. That's happening sometime next week. I think we're going to give away like 500 rounds of ammo that Luis Valdez contributed here. We're going to give that away to someone. You're going to have to be on the email list. I want to thank Yehuda, the Pew Pew Jew, for coming in. I want to thank BabyFace P for coming in under duress and sickness. And hunger.
I didn't talk too much tonight because my voice is like,
he is in and
out. So
yeah, he's losing his voice. I saw him earlier, and he kicked me out of his house. But we'll talk about that another time. So, any final words from anyone out there? Final words?
I just want to say I think you have the best followers.
Awesome, thank you. I agree with you. They are pretty awesome.
I mean, that was. I mean, we just got. I don't even know. I haven't even looked. I know at least $300, $400 worth of purchases just in the last year or so.
Yeah, awesome. Thanks to all those guys.
And all of your followers. You guys are all awesome.
Yes, absolutely. I agree. Thanks very much, everyone. And for everyone who was listening during the live podcast and bought a shirt, hit up Lola. If you're listening afterwards, please still do get a shirt. They're very cool. We will see you guys. We're out of here. Thank you. See ya. Peace.